Hey fellow peers, Sofia Static here. And today I'll be telling you a short little story about how I almost got scammed out of a Holy Grail doll. Almost. Before I even get to the scam part of the story, I feel like I have to give context as to what the fuck a Novi Star is and what a Holy Grail doll is. Now, what is a Grail doll? A Grail doll or a Holy Grail doll is a doll that you wish to have sometime in your life, even though you don't know how you're going to obtain it. It's like the Holy Grail of items. Some people consider Grail dolls to be like the most expensive doll they ever want. It could be a childhood doll that's like hard to find, or it could be a discount doll that isn't even available in your area or something. Like, if you ask a collector what their Grail is, it's gonna vary a lot. Basically, Novi Stars is a fashion doll line that had a short run in the 2010s. It consisted of alien girls and each one had their own gimmick. Basically, there was a subcategory of these dolls called supernova dolls, and they were a little bit taller and had slightly more articulation, but honestly not by much. Sadly though, because it was near the end of the doll line's run, the supernova stars didn't have that wide of a release in the United States, but they had a wider release in Europe and I think Asia. So it was very rare to find one in the US. Nowadays, these little alien dolls are seen as a cult classic, and if you could get your hands on one, good luck, especially the supernova stars. In most cases, unless you know a guy in the US, you're gonna have to buy those supernova stars from a European or Asian seller, which is what I had to do. Regardless of where you buy anything, whether it's down the street or on the other side of the world, you have to be careful as to which retailer you actually get it from. Which leads me into the story of how I almost got scammed out of this Holy Grail Novi Stars doll Tilly Vision. Now, I have been on the hunt for this doll for a while. It was the first one from this doll series that I was remotely interested in, but people charge so much goddamn money for this thing. So I always had some type of alert up for it whenever a listing came up. And every once in a while, I would just Google search like possible listings that aren't showing up. And I found one for this doll for $50-something, which is like a quarter of the price that people would charge for this doll. And it was from a European seller, which I bought from people from Europe before in Asia, so I don't have qualms about that like some people do for some reason. I swear to God, there's some doll collectors that are very, very particular about where they get their dolls from. But the $50-something price gauge had me a little weary because it felt a little too good to be true. But I had a small New Year's resolution to kind of trust people more because I might have some trust issues, so I wanted to give it a chance. It's one of the few listings I could find. She's actually complete and she's reasonably priced, so I went for it. And I waited for almost 2 months when they said it would only take a month to even get a shipping number. And I would contact this person and they would just claim, oh no, we'll get it to you. Oh no, don't worry, you should be getting an email momentarily. Again, I waited so long for this. After the second week, I knew I had been scammed and I was freaking out as to how I was gonna get $50 back, which I know $50 to some people isn't a lot, but I could have bought a whole ass fast food meal with that shit. Luckily though, I was able to get my money back, and I would usually warn people of this seller in case they were interested in buying from them, but shortly after I got my money back, I had the hardest fucking time finding this seller. I scoured for like a week trying to find them so I could warn people about them, but I guess enough people had problems with them that they decided not to try to scam people anymore. So that was good. And I was lucky to have gotten my money back, because not everyone is lucky to do that. So you may be wondering, why the f*** are you opening up your Grail doll right now? Well, I did find another seller from Japan. And because of my recent experience, I was scared that I was going to get scammed again. But the images seemed a little more legit, and the seller had some really, really awesome ratings, so I gave it another shot. In the back of my head, if I got scammed again, I would just stop pursuing this doll. Serendipitously though, not only did I get the doll a week early, but she was in amazing condition and I got a nice little thank you note from the seller too. So buying stuff is always a game of chance, honestly, especially with rare stuff like that. Like, when I held the box in my hands, I cried in a weird way. The only other time I cried over a doll was my Monster High Bonita Femur, because she was a Grail doll too. Now, why did I want this doll in particular? Well, I was interested in the concept of Novi Stars. I remember seeing the commercials on Cartoon Network for a few years, and I had no idea that they had like this subcategory of dolls of like taller dolls, which design-wise I think is a little more appealing than the traditional smaller ones, even though I have one. I feel like if they were to reboot Novi Stars, I think the taller ones might do better, and then slowly integrate the more traditional smaller ones. And also, this is a very TV aesthetic doll, obviously, and it just fits my personal aesthetic so much. Like, I like her little quip, I like her little TV body, like, even her little pet is so cute, like, you can rotate the head and everything, it's just, aw. I just never thought I'd be able to get a little alien doll like this. I'm so happy to have her. So what did we learn today in this very unscripted video? Don't expect the worst outcome in a situation, but stay a little cautious. Be patient with what you want, and be willing to realistically fight back, especially if you got scammed out $50. Yeah, let's go with that. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe. Have you ever heard of Novi Stars before? If so, which Novi Stars character is your favorite? Also, do you have a Holy Grail doll? Why is it your Holy Grail doll? Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, stay safe and stay supernova, my fellow peers, whatever that means. Bye!